Well, hi everyone. Um, it's nice to be here this afternoon. It's been kind of uh, oh, amazing, um, a bit annoying, and eventful 2 weeks. I'm trying to be with it and be happy, but it's been getting me down. How many of you folks out there are actually happy with the decisions of the Supreme Court over the last couple of weeks? Wasn't it something like June 30th? It seemed like the world changed. Everything is different. You know, and that's all I'm hearing. Is the buzz. Okay, from everyone. Yeah, everyone I know is talking about what's been going on. And the 4th of July happened. Happy birthday, America. Right? Which I enjoyed very much, sitting home in my living room while the little girl, Katie, who just went swimming, she's out summertime. She went swimming today. She went out to the fireworks on the 4th of July with her boyfriend, of course. They had to. Yeah. And I stayed home. Right? I don't like the crowds. Well, it's true. I don't like the crowds. So I stayed home and I watched the fireworks from New York, right, on television, which was just fine with me. They were pretty good, right? Anybody see those? Or maybe you watched the ones from Washington, but I boycotted Washington this year. Anyway, it's just damn shameful. When good old fashioned down home Americans that believe in God and country, right, can't wake up in the morning to the realization that the United States has common sense because the Supreme Court decided that common sense should be thrown out the window, right? In order to, give people the right to marry a man, to marry a man, and a woman to marry a woman. Yes, it's a big issue. It's a big deal, right? And growing up, I never would have believed that garbage could happen in my country, right? Yeah, but I had old-fashioned parents, normal parents. They had their ups and their downs. They had problems like everybody else's parents do. You know, but they were husband and wife. For many years. Okay, which is what marriage was supposed to, was meant to be. You know, you get married, you stay married, for, I don't know, the rest of your life. That was the old way. And it was always between a man and a woman, that they get married. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, guys. And you don't agree with me, okay? Oh, well, all right. I'm spelling it out the way it really is. It's a nightmare. Because we don't even know, okay, what the future of commercials will be on TV. Because all of those people are going to try to sell goods, okay, to the two men that are married, okay, or the two ladies that are married. And they'll be showing up in the commercials. Here's Mr. So-and-so kissing his Mr. So-and-so, in the commercial. You watch, it'll happen. Okay? Instead of a man and a woman, you'll see a man and a man. God knows what else they'll come up with in the future. Um, not healthy. Okay, it's not healthy. And so I'm waking up in the mornings these days, kind of being feeling bummed out because my country has taken the road of Sodom and Gomorrah. Really, come on, America, wake up. Okay, what are they going to do? Put me in jail for saying it's wrong? I have a right. Okay, my First Amendment rights. Okay, if they're going to violate them, okay, then I will speak up about it. I will not shut my mouth. Now look at this poor couple. Okay, where were they from? Oh, I can't remember what state. But they refused to make a wedding cake, I think it was, for two young ladies, women, okay, lesbian couple that were getting married about a week ago, right, or something, or maybe it was longer than, I don't know, but I read it. It might not be great on the dates, but I read it and I posted it down there. And they ended up having to pay a $135,000 fine because they refused to make the wedding cake. Now go to Dearborn, Michigan, okay? All right, and say something against those Muslim down there in Dearborn, okay? When they say there's no way that they're going to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple's marriage. Christians are being singled out. We're being trampled on. Nobody has said anything about the incident down in Dearborn, okay? Or the 5 or 10 different bakeries that refused, okay, to make wedding cakes. Nobody went and sued them. Their town didn't say, hey, you've got to pay a $135,000 fine because you don't want to make this cake for that couple, okay, that gay male couple that's getting married. It's a double standard. And people like me and like you who believe in what's right and what's good need to stand up for what's good and what's right. Is it tough? Oh, yeah, it's going to be tough because you've got all of these, sicko perverts, obviously, even in the Supreme Court, okay, running the country. Not all of them probably. I guess it was a 5-4 split in favor of same-sex marriage. And, it's absurd. Kind of like, when I was watching a while back last year, there was and it's probably down in my feed too, way down there somewhere, from last year, because I tend to keep a lot of my stories, in circulation if I can. But there was a court that, they have a prayer before the court starts. Okay, yeah. And some Satanist weirdo got up. Okay, and the ones who stayed in the courtroom are losers, right? The ones who got up and left because of the just sheer disrespect, okay, of it, toward the court and toward what we believe in as a nation, right? It just, you can't handle that stuff. Okay, those kind of things, they should be jailable to do something like that, all right? And this, and the decent people, of course, got up and walked out of the courtroom, all right? And yeah, they were like legislature type courtroom. It was something like that. I don't think it was a regular courthouse. Yeah. What kind of garbage have we got it going on here in America anyway lately? Yeah. And, I've had a great week. What can I say? I've had one of those weeks where, everything, if it can go wrong, it will, right? Okay. But I'm still, I'll be fine. My voice is going. It must be because I'm getting a virus again. Yippee. But, I'm in good company. Poor Mr. Glenn Beck has a voice problem this week. And for the next month, he's supposed to be resting his voice. I got to say, I kind of sympathize with them. I also have that problem more often than I care to, to mention, because I've got teenagers that hang out. And when, you got teenagers, sometimes you tend to use your voice a lot. But, there's a lot of stuff been going on. I tried walking to the doctor. Okay. Katie hasn't had no problems at all this week. Yippee. She's a good girl. She has a lot of fun. Oh, that's probably her on the phone, telling me that she's down at the swimming pool. And I'm afraid to answer it because I might end up with a feedback. Okay. But if I do, forgive me. I'm going to try to answer the phone. Hello? Hello? Well, she hung it up. Hello? Is that you, Katie? Okay. I'm in the middle of doing a small show, a broadcast. All right, I know. It's all right. You down there? Okay. Well, have a fun time. I'd let them all hear you, but I'm afraid it'll give us feedback over the line. Okay, so. All right. Have fun. Okay. Talk to you later, honey. Love you. Okay. God protect you. Thank you. Yeah, that was Katie. She calls me to let me know she's all right. She made it to the pool. Well, you got to keep track on them. Okay. Even the older teenagers, you got to keep track on them sometimes. But anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff, okay, been going on in the last 2 weeks, and it just doesn't feel, okay, the way it used to feel in America, because you've always got to worry now, there's some, BS going on around every corner, and now it's legal, so like, what do you do if you don't like something, if somebody does something in public that you don't like to see, is it still okay to call an officer to have them to stop it, I don't want to see that stuff. I don't want to see a male and a woman, going at it. Why the heck would I want to see a couple of guys going at it, making out in public? I won't even let Katie make out in the living room. I stop her. Right? So anyway, not that she does it. She's got a boyfriend though, let's be real. But no, it's not for public. It's not even for around your family when they're offended. That's a form of public too, right? Some things just should remain private. And those things, saying that a man can marry a man, it's still wrong. It doesn't matter what they said, on, the Supreme Court. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're not going to uphold that law in our house. I can't stop whoever's doing it, but I'm not going to agree with it. And I'll be very verbal against it. And that's the way good people should be. And we need to go out there and vote in people that will get rid of those laws that were just made, okay? Like Obamacare, all right? That's got to go. That's not good for the country, all right? It's not good for people, right? We got to get rid of the same-sex marriages. Those got to go. Not good for the people, not good for the country, right? It's making weak people, right? Now, we got to get rid of Obama, obviously, but he's still there. Can't get rid of him too easily for some reason. It seems like everybody wants to be too politically correct, okay, about Obama, like as if he's a nice guy. I saw him, I saw him up there singing Amazing Grace. I saw all of this stuff, these in the church and all that junk. But people, it's an act. He's not a real Christian, okay? Now, you can sit there and you can laugh at me. You could say, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. But in reality, his father was a Muslim. Okay? His stepfather was a Muslim. If anybody knows anything about Islam, really knows anything about Islam, all right, and the way that Muslim families live and what they believe in, and it's true of every single family that's involved in Islam, there's no one sect anywhere in Islam that will give families the right to allow any of their sons, okay, or daughters, okay, to become Christian. It's totally illegal in Islam. You can't do it. If you understand Islam, then you know he's lying. All right. He's practicing taqiyya, all right, which is a doctrine of Islam, which says that you can hide your true religion that you practice, and if it saves your neck, okay, and that's just what he's doing. You can deny it, you can say you're something else, you can do anything you want, as long as it saves your neck and saves whatever your agenda is, so that you can accomplish it, right? And I can tell you with absolute certainty that I know that Barack Obama is, in fact, a Muslim. Okay, and I've seen Amazing Grace pretty well too, but I'm a Christian. Okay, right? And I don't like to see someone lying, saying that they're Christian when they're not. Right? That's a pretty big deception, especially when people rely on that person, right, to care about their nation, which should be the case, when he's the president of the United States of America. Right. So anyway, yeah, there we are on that. Okay, so you can keep all of that bunk and junk. Okay, that you say he's Christian, he's not. All right, and I've had I've had too much of a weight to put up with people's baloney. All right, I had one fella that wrote in. Okay, made comments down in one of the pages that I posted. Incendiary American, he calls himself. Right, you can go down there. I republished a comment that the Google page, not me, okay, but the Google pages actually blocked his comment, one of his comments, because they considered it to be spam, okay, or too much negativity to the point of threatening. All right. And I went and I pulled it out of the block and I reposted it and I answered it. The reason why I wanted to do that was to make sure that people understood, including him, and I know who he is because I went back and traced through, okay, the feed. You can do that. You can go in and you can find out who sent you a comment. All right. You can even if they're using a totally different name and, and information to post to hide who they really are. You can still go in and find out who they are. And I did that so that I could get a look at the person, if possible, that posted that, because to me it sounded quite bigoted and threatening. All right. But I have no, animosity toward that person. I have come to, ascertain within myself that I'm fair to people. He's a young man who wanted to be a comedian and perhaps is a comedian in some club somewhere, down in Texas. You can all go check it. All right. I'm sure that you can do the same thing I did and find out who he is. Right. His name is Nick. And that's all I'll tell you about his first name. I'm not going to give you his last name. But he seems like he might be actually a very nice person that's a little bit sharp at the mouth. Right. And, people, they get like that sometimes. And I wanted to explain to him, okay, without having his comment blocked by Google, where I actually stand on these things. I'm not a perfect human being. I do make mistakes. Okay. Sometimes I've had, false, false ideas based on not understanding things. Okay. Sometimes I have in the past when I was younger, I've made mistakes. You make mistakes in judgment, and, people are people. We're not perfect. Okay. And we're all in certain stages. Nobody's in the same place, in life. Everybody's in the same, in different areas of growth, personal growth within their own lives and in their thinking and everything else. Intelligence is not the same in every person. Right. So with that, I did want to acknowledge that this had happened and that it's okay. I gave my answer. I'm not going to answer twice, but it's down there. You go find it. Okay. It was a post I did about Obama and how I know that he is Muslim. All right. But you need to remember, I lived with the Muslim. Okay. I ate with the Muslim. I went to mosque. Okay. With my lady Muslim friends. Right. And I've lived in an Islamic country. All right. Pakistan. Right. I've dealt with their police military, their military police. I've dealt with people over there. I know what Sharia law is. I've studied it, okay, for years. And when you do understand something that well and other people around you don't because they're not familiar with it, it's like my folks. My mom and dad were not familiar with anything having to do with Sharia. They were just, my dad was a little at home poor man, a Catholic man, okay, who would go to church on Sunday and try to live his life and go to work and support his family. He wasn't thinking about all that stuff. And if it came over TV that something bad was going on, in some other country, he just took it at face value. He didn't understand what these things all meant. Right? And my mom was a Protestant. Okay? My mom was a Baptist. Very poor lady. Wanted to do nothing, though, in her life except raise her kids and live a certain way. Very old-fashioned people. And that's where I came up, okay? I had a lot of problems because my folks were poor and we were living in bad neighborhoods, right? So I had to deal with gangs, right? I had to deal with, real bad people just outside my door, all right? And that's why I ended up in the trouble I ended up in, because I was a good kid. I was a good kid, right? But stuff can happen, okay? Bad things can happen to good people. All right. And when those things happen, there have to be a whole lot of people that stand up for the good people so that the bad people don't get away with it. Right. And yes, everybody could possibly turn out to have problems, okay, which could put them in a bad situation and give them a bad reputation. Right. But then it's up to them to grow up and fight that, okay, and become welcoming of the good things in life so that they can, in fact, achieve the good reputation. All right? So we all need to work together to understand each other. Okay. With that, I got to go. I'm having some physical issues today. I have been a little bit ill physically. I am diabetic. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. Mini vacation, part of it, and part of it not feeling well, but I decided to come today. Been having physical issues because of the diabetes, and but I'm working on those. Okay, and hopefully things will get better, and I can handle more, even just sitting here in front of the computer to talk with you folks. It's been a little tough today. I've had my sugars going like up and down and up again and down again. And I've been having some pain issues. And, but, that's, because, okay, I'll tell you. I collapsed, okay, going to the doctors the other day. I actually literally, my body seized up, very severe pain. We have an incline on our hill. The doctor's office is about 5 blocks from my house. Not far at all. And I thought I could walk it. But the incline, it's so steep. The hill next, going down to the doctor's office is so steep that I could not handle the steepness of that hill. And I ended up in very severe pain. Right? Back pain, ankles, everything, you name it. I was in trouble. Had to call up and get Katie to come and walk me back to the house because I couldn't make it to the doctor for my appointment. That's terrible, isn't it? So I've been having some bodily problems, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna have some come in to help me to figure out what to do with my body to get it to do a little better than it has been, and get my sugars a little more under control. And, we're going to keep coming back, right? Because, I take my work seriously. and I care, even though I don't know any of you folks personally. I care about what happens to each and every one of the people, okay, out there that view my show. And, you know, maybe it comes from always doing the kind of work where I was helping people. It just got in my blood, you know. Unfortunately, I got diabetes in there too. Too much sugar, you know, it gets into my way sometimes. But yes, you know, I for years, I used to have a little booth. I'd work 12 hours a day, right, at a booth, rain or shine, outside, collecting money to help children, you know, who had been the victims of abandonment and whose parents had been killed in accidents or as a result of homicides, you know, and that sort of thing. And we helped a lot of kids in New Hampshire. And that's what I used to do quite a while back. I think I stopped doing that in the year 2000 or something like that, because I found out I was having problems because of diabetes. I could no longer stand or work the booth for that many hours, or even just a few, because my diabetes was getting in the way. My ankles were swelling, and the Avandia didn't help either back then. Now I'm on insulin, you know, and in some ways that's worse. You know, but we all have issues to, you know, to work on in life, okay, and that tends to be my big one, I guess. You know, no, but you know, God is good, and we all have our challenges. But it's like, you know, the Apostle Paul said, you know, we have, uh, you know, whatever you have for your problem in life, you know, that's something God is there to help you with. Can't remember the exact quote. I'll look it up. It's been a while. I don't usually preach, you know, anymore. I used to preach a lot in the old days, but I don't get up behind the pulpit anymore. Yeah. I prefer to help in other ways. Okay, guys. All right. God bless you. All right. Have a great day. I don't mean to get teary-eyed. I got to get myself a nice big tall glass of water and, you know, just chill out. It's been a rough 2 weeks. You know, I hope you guys are handling the last 2 weeks better than I am. Right? I'm real disappointed right now in the American government, okay, in the Supreme Court. But I'm very encouraged that there are good, honest people out there, okay, that can help us turn it around. Okay, with the next elections, we all need to vote out the bad guys, okay, and take our country back. Okay, please, let's everybody remember to vote, right? In all of your elections that are coming up, and in 2016, get the evil ones gone, okay, and take our country back, right? And you guys that have been doing your research, you know what I'm talking about. Get rid of Obama's group, get rid of Hillary, get rid of all of that. Put in a good man, okay, that knows how to really do his job, okay, and cares about America the way that the grassroots, real, truly caring people care, okay, about America. The Americans like you and me who give a damn about our kids and don't want stuff like the teacher, you know, in the feed. There's a story Fox News reported. The teacher that told the kid in 5th grade that he can't read his Bible during free time in class. Let's get rid of that junk, okay? Thanks, folks. God bless you all. For me, Ethel, and Held in Evidence. Good afternoon.